Travel day, leaving Christchurch bound for Singapore before we springboard into our latest adventure. Miriam is not joining me for 3 weeks. I'm travelling with a group of intrepid travellers, all friends up for an adventure or 3. 4 movies and 2 meals later we landed in Singapore. Terminal 2 at Changi Airport. It's not the newest or the flashiest. Nevertheless, we were greeted with beautiful orchids and a delicious food court dumpling. The automatic soap dispensers and tap in the airport bathroom were great. Turned out that the automatic hand dryer built into the bench is just a rubbish bin. A little embarrassing. A 4-hour flight from Singapore found us landing in Dhaka. The late night got later with an hour to navigate our on-arrival visas. Bureaucracy punctuated with conversations about cricket. But eventually we made it to our transport and went for a ride that was worthy of the world's greatest theme parks. This ride, wacky races. 4 abreast traffic on 2-lane roads at midnight. Trucks, buses, cars and lots of the common green tuk-tuks. The tuk-tuks are caged. Not sure why, certainly not for road safety purposes. Constant sounding of horns and the most ridiculous lane changes. A short blast on the horn is, "Here I am." A longer blast means, "Here I come." And while an even longer blast, frequently accompanied by hand gestures and passionate shouting, means, "And if you take a wrong turn, simply make a U-turn and drive back the way you came, against the one-way traffic. All good as long as you use your horn. 1 AM and we've made it to our accommodation. We will sleep well before our adventure begins proper. This morning we were woken by the call to prayer from the neighbouring mosque. A reminder that you're not in Kansas now, Dorothy. Not that we needed a reminder, as the horns from the traffic outside could be heard loud and clear. As could the bugle reveille that soon followed the call to prayer from the military base nearby, not the mosque. During the night our entire team had assembled, arriving from different global ports. So after breakfast was our first opportunity to meet together in preparation for our first challenge, shopping. Our host took us to a department store within walking distance. Bangladesh is one of the largest producers of textiles in the world, so there was no need to ask where the clothing here was made. The women in our group bought dresses appropriate for our travels. I went along with the intention of just looking, but I was quickly seduced by the quality and price, eventually buying 3 shirts. When visiting a country so different from our own, it is the ordinary things which we notice. The many rickshaws which can go where other transport cannot, such as the narrow lanes and alleyways away from the main roads. The workmen crushing concrete with huge sledgehammers, wearing steel-capped sandals, not. And the occasional individual walking through the crowd with a dozen live ducks balanced on their head. After lunch we boarded 2 vans for what was meant to be a 30-minute drive to the Chandpur launch terminal. However, today being Saturday, there was quite a lot of traffic, an understatement, and the road chaos we experienced from the airport last night was soon forgotten. The trip eventually took us 90 minutes, but what an adventure, and freedom to observe the world behind the tinted windows of an air-conditioned van. Colourful chaos which for the most part works. The intersections are so busy that the police appear to have given up directing traffic, could be seen standing in the road, just looking stunned. We were rushed on board the ferry on our arrival. There are 20 ferries which travel between Dhaka and Chandpur daily, beginning at 6 AM. The last ferry arrives in Dhaka at 4 AM. Our hosts had booked us cabins with their own balconies. These proved a good refuge when we needed a break from the locals who love to talk to us, stare at us and take our photos. Europeans seem relatively rare. We're yet to see any others on our travels. Lots of handshakes and conversations about cricket. The cruise usually takes around 3.5 hours. However, it evidently takes longer when only a single engine is working. Along the way we passed many brick and ship works. As the orange sun went down, fishermen appeared on the river. We passed and were passed by hundreds of vessels carrying passengers and cargo. Barges laden with concrete and bricks passed by, sitting very low in the water. Chaos again on our arrival in Chandpur, with hundreds of tuk-tuk and taxi drivers crowding the jetty, competing for paying passengers. The shouting not sounding unlike gulls in a feeding frenzy. Having been loaded onto waiting tuk-tuks, we were ferried from the ferry to our accommodation. The roads here are full of tuk-tuks. They race each other like a life-size Mario Kart game. Brilliant fun though. Our accommodation is still a welcome retreat, set back from the road, surrounded by green lawn and alongside a lake. A chance to refresh and reset in preparation for a busy day tomorrow.